In May 2025, 2 Russians and an American ventured into the worst ghetto of Moscow, Russia.
How dare you? This is all wrong.
Вам тоже.
In the traditional manner that. Fuck this.
This is their story.
Вы смелые мужики, что пришли в котельники. Тут очень весело и хорошо. Приходите еще.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Joe, but the start of our Moscow Ghetto tour seems to be another nice area. Now again, I have to say this because it's like a disclaimer that has to follow. We are not saying that there aren't any problems in the neighborhoods where there are migrants living here. We are simply comparing an American ghetto based on an American guy's experience and my experience from living in the States to what people have said is one of the worst neighborhoods to be in. We're here Saturday. I was told to come here in the evening. It is 7:45. Might have to find a way to prove that because people will say, well, you've asked the government to change the direction of the sun and put clouds. That's why this is not really 7 o'clock. This is really 9 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock. You guys, we know you. You changed the direction of the sun. You're seeing these annoying things. They are rentable scooters. They're all over the place in the entrance to the mall, right here as well. They all have their own individual number plates. Now, this is a recent thing. I think it's a couple of years old that they started putting plates. Anyways, they're here. And unlike when I was in Amsterdam and I've seen many bicycles in the Amsterdam River, whatever it's called, here they're just chilling over there waiting for someone to become a road hazard for a couple of minutes. Not stolen.
Right, I was gonna say they're not stolen.
No. Get out of my shot.
He put me in it, so I had to walk over. Otherwise, I look a weirdo. It's his fault.
Yeah.
I had to do something.
Hi everyone, my name is Stan. Welcome to A Russian Opinion. And today we have a very, very interesting, at least for me, video. We're going to be going on a Moscow ghetto tour with a buddy of mine who's going to come in. You know him, but he's standing to the side for now. So here's the backstory to this. There's a particular person online, and there's a lot of people online that claim that Russian ghettos are just as dangerous, if not worse, than American or European ghettos. So what we've done is come after 6 o'clock. It's almost sundown. It's almost 7 o'clock. And we're going to be walking around the area. And my friend, who you know, Joe, please come into the shot.
Here I am.
Here's
Stan.
Joe. He's going to be walking around with me. And he's a very tall, recognizable fellow. And I'm dressed like I'm from the Squid Games. And we also have a cameraman who's going to be... he's going to be getting a lot of attention on himself as well because he's walking around following us with a camera. So... the question is, Joe, would you even attempt to do something like this in an American or a European, like a French ghetto full of migrants or full of, basically people who live in a dangerous hood?
Absolutely not. And I've experienced in America and in Europe, and I would not come to what is labeled the worst neighborhood and wander around, for sure.
Okay, well, you heard it from the horse's mouth, basically. And we're going to walk around the metro and see what it feels like, and Joe's going to give us comments.
There's the cameraman. Here's Stan. He is my technical advisor, not my bodyguard, for this video.
Huh?
Why did you pick this neighborhood? What is it that you've heard about this neighborhood?
Okay, so I didn't pick this neighborhood. This neighborhood picked me. You know, that's too cheesy. But what happened was every time I put out a video and I'm speaking with somebody and they're telling me their story about how they were in a particular country and there's a problem in the migrant area, ghetto area, whatever. Always somebody in the comments will say, well, we have the exact same thing in Russia. So I thought, well, this would be a good comparison video. we will see exactly if it's the same. So I picked Saturday when I had time. I came here at 12 o'clock, midday, because nobody in their right mind in an American or a French ghetto would walk around midday just openly with a camera. So I did, and I got a lot of positive, but also a lot of negative comments about the fact that I'm out of touch. I don't know what I'm talking about. This neighborhood is problematic. There are problems with migrants and immigrants here. I would not do something like this, what we're doing in an American ghetto neighborhood, being white in the middle of the day. And we're doing this at 7 o'clock because I was told that I was too scared. I was told I was too scared to come here at 7 o'clock, where I've lived in the Philly area next to the ghetto. I lived there. I know what it looks like.
There are little girls walking by.
Yeah.
I mean, there are blonde chicks walking by. I mean, you know, I'm holding a camera. There's no mentally ill people like getting upset with me and wondering what I'm doing. You know,
whilst you're pointing the camera at me, you're saying mentally ill people. Thank you, Joe.
I don't even see graffiti at this point. I mean, I'm sure there's some somewhere.
We don't have American style or European style ghettos in Moscow, at least. I would even say in Russia, even though there are some really bad neighborhoods, but in Moscow, we don't have your style ghettos anyway.
Does this look like a coffee shop that would be in a scary neighborhood? So, Evgeny, what do you know about this place?
Just first time in my life I'm here. In Kotelniki. My first impression about this neighborhood was like, you know, usual outskirt neighborhood, so nothing special. So lots of new buildings, so lots of people moved here with kids and young families. So I believe it's not that bad.
Would you stop in an American ghetto with 7,000 US in cash in your car and leave your car somewhere? In the US, Joseph, whilst walking around with a camera, looking...
Vin Diesel driving behind you?
Yeah, and Vin Diesel driving behind you. Would you, Joseph?
I would not.
I'm just curious because I just sold my motorcycle and the dealer gave me cash and I have cash in my car. Now, I know this is a big risk and some people might say, well, why don't you just walk around? I swore. Well, you're gonna have to beep that. Why don't you walk around with it? Well, I'm not that stupid. But, I mean, would you even do something like that in the American ghetto? I wouldn't, but you can write your comments and tell me what you think. And hopefully, Russians who live in Russia will read those comments and they'll see what people who actually live in the States think of this neighborhood after seeing it on camera.
So they cannot go find you right now and take the money out of your car?
No, they can't. Because that would be stupid if I were to do this live. That's how people get caught. Вам тоже.
Спасибо, дядя. Well, what I've heard is that in Russia, all different economic classes, they live together in the same neighborhoods. So maybe that helps there to not be ghettos in the traditional manner that...
Joe, right now, we're walking around. This is a metro station. I mean, describe the demographic, because as it happens, people in Russia tend to believe what American and Canadian and international bloggers say rather than what I say, because I'm biased. So, what are you saying?
It looks to me like 90% of the people could be related to you and I. What do you think?
Maybe not 90, maybe like 60, I would say.
Really? Okay, all right,
say
cool.
so.
Okay.
But we're basically seeing Russian-looking faces, Southern Russian-looking faces, Asian-looking faces, and right.
I think I can say it is less multi-ethnic than my hometown of Tallahassee, than Los Angeles, California, than New York.
What do you mean it's less multi-ethnic? There's less different people here than Tallahassee? Did I get that right?
Yeah. Because Tallahassee is a southern city, so you've got your Anglos, you've got your Africans, from the past, Civil War days. You even have Cubans. So, and here I only see perhaps two different ethnicities.
Okay, so I guess you're mostly seeing Russians, and I'm seeing mostly Russian faces, to be quite honest with you. So it's quite surprising, but this is, from my understanding, this is one of the end of the lines. This is, I guess, the last train station or metro station.
Metro stop?
I think this is either the last one or the one before the last. So essentially, it's not exactly the center of town.
Okay, so this is the stereotype that at the end of the line, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
But it looks the same.
So what would, in an American neighborhood, what would a place like this typically look like? So imagine the end of the line in a metro or a train station, and what kind of people would you see? How would you feel? You know, give an honest opinion. If you'd say it looks exactly the same.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking Atlanta, Georgia, because that's a big city that's near where I grew up. And it also has a metro system called the MARTA. And, you know, you see a lot of graffiti. You see a lot of scary looking people, homeless people, scary places, dirty things, trash. Here, it's definitely better. The shops look nicer, even though they're not perfect. And we saw trash over there, but I don't see any trash here.
Well, there's some, you know, cigarette wrappers and cigarettes here.
Pick up coffee. That doesn't look like. This doesn't look like a scary place. It's got neon lights and looks fresh and clean. That apartment building looks. It's not my taste, but it looks modernish. It doesn't look super old.
Yeah. Could be refurbished, but it doesn't look super old at all.
The guys behind it look like they're camouflage or something. It's weird, and that's also strange. But you know, it's nothing scary.
Well, driving in from that side of the road, I was surprised because one I mostly saw, at least, I mean, we were there for like maybe 5 minutes. I mostly saw Russian people, but at the same time, I didn't see anything that really stood out or really made it look any different from any neighborhood in Moscow, to be honest with you.
I mean, I've lived in Moscow for 3 years now. It looks the same. It looks like I'm in Moscow. It has all the standardized things you'd expect. That was at a Mag Burger, so that's like a Mega Burger gas station.
That's a gas station with basically, look, it's raining.
That could be in Florida. That could be in Georgia.
Yeah.
You know? You just got buses, just like you might see in the center of any small town in America. There's a bathroom. It says water closet, WC, with English letters. Okay, so this is like a bus stop right here.
Yeah, this is a bus stop.
So this should be the scariest place you see in America, right?
Of course.
A bus stop.
No, it would be where all of the druggies are.
You wouldn't want to be walking around with a camera because mentally ill people would be coming up to you saying, "Oh, what are you doing, man?
Why are you filming?
Give me some money.
Yeah,
Put that camera away. What's that for, man?"
I like your impression of I'm guessing that's somebody from California, like a guy that was a hippie for too long and
had too much of something.
Yeah, had too much of something. He's like, "Man, give me that camera, man." Like, I didn't expect you to do that accent, but then again, you lived in California, so you should know.
Exactly. Wow.
All right. Well, I mean, this is just the beginning. We should go into the neighborhoods and.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Let's go deeper, right?
Yeah.
You know, because at the end of the line, it might be a little nicer.
What is that? That car. What is that parked in the Russian ghetto? By the way, so we just had some dudes who saw the camera scream at us going, "Woo! Woo!
Roll them up.
The White House is sending the National Guard to...
That's it. That was.
I think they said expat American, we love you.
Yeah, I guess that's how they say expat American, we love you, by screaming randomly at people.
It was in Russian, so I didn't understand it, but I'm sure that's what they said.
I'm pretty sure the sound "woo" is international, Joe. But who am I? Who am I to make such decisions?
So we were wandering inside the apartment complexes, and just ask yourself, if you're from America, what would it look like if it was the scariest neighborhood or one of them? I think all the shops would be closed. You have graffiti all over the place. There would be no kids playing. You wouldn't have a playground that looks that nice.
The only thing we're not doing is walking up to people and, you know, interrupting their day, which I don't like to do anyway. But right now we have a cameraman, we have 2 cameras. There are people noticing, and no one's coming up to us and telling us, "Why are you filming? Get out of here!" Or "We don't like your kind around here." Like, no one's telling us that, or no one's going, "Hey, yo, buddy, yo, get over here." Or which other accent I can do.
Say it the way a Russian would say it.
Hey,
But in English, so we understand you.
yo, buddy, get over here. I have to tell you something. I want to try your camera for a walk. Like, this is not the 1990s.
Now I see my first sign of graffiti right over here.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, though, to Russia, this is just a construction wall. So,
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Many construction walls do have graffiti on them, but not a lot of residential buildings. 8 o'clock, there is no sun. We have not moved the sun with our magical powers. It is actually 8 o'clock in the evening. And soon the lights should be coming on. It's a nice neighborhood. Look, 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 look. There's a ping pong table.
and a hammock for couples.
So there's a hammock, there are ping pong tables. You know what? These ones are actually better than the ones I have in my neighborhood, because in my neighborhood, they're real. So they're warped from weather and snow, whereas these ones are literally stone and metal.
Yes.
This is actually a good way of doing this. Yeah, so nothing's going to happen to this. You can keep, I'm not sure how the ball will bounce and if it's going to be as good as it's supposed to be, but this is actually a much better idea. This is better than what I have in my neighborhood. And my neighborhood's considered to be a good neighborhood based on Moscow standards.
It's going to be better than the perfect table being out in the snow for 3 months.
Oh yeah. It's probably going to rust sooner or later, but you know, weather happens.
Mom plays with her kids.
Let's see, let me see your beautiful watch.
It's
There's-
Nautica. It's
Nautica,
an American
let's see.
one.
Ah, you spy. You should be called an inagent for wearing an American watch.
Was it's just so.
Yeah, the lights come on, so, you know, danger time.
It's not a joke.
Joe, you got to do your signature word. It's like, or sentence.
Where am I?
Besides, where am I? It's like, do you have playgrounds like that in your city? Here, I'll turn the camera around and say, do you have playgrounds like that in your city?
Do you?
Now, I'm not trying to say anything bad, but I do have a question, Joe. Would something like this be in an American ghetto?
Absolutely not, Stan. And if it was, it would be all busted up and there'd be graffiti on it. We're passing by an older apartment building. There's some bars in the windows, but I do not see any graffiti.
Well, actually, this is a very good point, Joe. If you see no bars on the first story windows, then you know this is a safe neighborhood.
Oh yeah, very, very good point.
I mean, you know, safe in comparison to neighborhoods that do have bars on their windows, but in this case, this may not be the safest neighborhood or the nicest looking neighborhood in Moscow. But not every, like for example, here you'll see bars right here. This is a hotel. So there are bars in the hotel windows. There are bars on the windows of the building on the left, on the first floor. But not everywhere and not everyone has them. In fact, the place where my grandma lives, I don't know, are you filming or no?
I can.
Well, actually, we're mic'd up anyway.
Yeah.
So the place where my grandma lives is actually a very nice neighborhood now, and she still has bars on her windows back from when that building was built. So these buildings have leftover bars, and I don't think they're not necessarily needed anymore. So we can
Yeah,
stop.
I would agree. They're probably from a time gone by.
Yeah.
Thank
Let's
God.
find a way to somewhere to park and then walk around. Oh, we've been to a new neighborhood. Now we're in a bit of an older neighborhood, and in front of us is a school or kindergarten that's either brand new or restored.
Oh, that's a grade school?
Yeah, and it's starting to rain, which is okay.
Another playground over here.
Yeah.
And we got a basketball court.
Yeah. Yeah, basketball court.
So this is not everywhere, a basketball court in Russia. That's nice. And it's very common to have a cluster of apartment buildings and a school nearby. So that's a school in the center, another playground. Now, to be fair, this little entrance right here, it looks a little junky.
A little bit, but it's painted.
Not a whole lot. You know, maybe I'm confused, Stan, but if I were to do this walk, dare I say, anywhere I've been in America, at least at one point or two, I would pass by somebody where I would be a little bit on my guard. And that hasn't happened at all in this journey so far.
For those people who are not always walking around with a camera, you get harassed when you walk around with a camera in nice neighborhoods in the States, because people will come up to you and go, "What are you doing in my neighborhood? Who are you? Why are you filming?" At this point, I have never been told. I've only been told once, and that was in Kyrgyzstan. So I was there, and I walked by, I was filming, and I walked by a Belarusian consulate by accident. And the guy ran, and he's like, "What are you filming? Why are you filming?"
Ah, right.
Yeah, and basically, I didn't know, but that's it. No one's ever told me, "What are you doing? Why are you filming?" If they were to ask me this, it would be out of curiosity, not out of any kind of, negative thoughts, if you want to call it that.
But I think it is good to note, this is technically a liquor store, right?
Yeah, it is.
And in the US, this is where I would go if I wanted to try and find some trouble.
Yes.
Or if I wanted to look bad.
Yes.
And if I was trying to make Russia look bad, I might want to find a liquor store. But even here, it looks normal to me. It does not look like a mess.
Yeah.
I mean,
So if anyone's looking for a video, like a ghetto trash video, not gonna happen here. Like, I've been here during the day. I know what it's gonna look like during the evening. The only thing is, the only time of the year that this video would look extra trashy is in the winter, because stuff usually looks bad in the winter. Green makes things prettier.
so that's our trick. That's how we fooled everyone. That
Yes,
Russia
exactly.
is a nice place.
Yeah, Russia's a bad
We did this in
place.
spring.
Exactly. Don't come here. Like in our video.
Exactly. You're definitely wearing the right clothes.
Why?
You're dressed for a neighborhood that might be sketchy.
You know how comfortable these are?
No, I mean, you look good. It's just stereotypical. It's impressive in a good way, just for me, all these apartments. Like so many people living together.
Hey, I got something. What is this? It says plug me. That is
For samokarts.
not for, you almost made me swear. Not for samakate. This looks like a charging space for your car, or I mean that's what it is from my understanding. I don't want to stick my finger in there, but this is a charging port of some sort.
It is, Evgeny?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Car charging?
Yeah. A car charger in the one of the most dangerous ghettos of Russia, I guess.
Right. So in the stereotypical dangerous ghetto, which is not a dangerous ghetto, they have a car charging station. So people who live here have electric cars they charge.
Or somebody just spent government money to say we have to put one here because I don't see any electric
That
cars.
looks like a Corvette or something.
Yeah, but as you can see, it is a little bit more trashy. There are bottles laying around. But let's go. We have Zhenya pointing to something, and unfortunately, it's not a bathroom. So this is it's a water dispensing unit. Would this machine in the ghettos of America, would it be in this brand newish type shape?
No way, never. It would be totally trashed and smashed and spray painted and dirty, and it certainly wouldn't work.
There's a bit of trash laying here and there, and looks like someone's been feeding the birds. Lots of bread left over, and I hope that's a doll and not an actual baby. Yeah, that's a doll. Let me just zoom into that. That's not a baby laying there, that's a doll. YouTube algorithms, don't worry.
It's 8:30. You said it was 10.
It is
You scared me.
Oh, 8:30? Yeah, it's 8:30.
I was like, what?
I said
It's like
9:30.
time flies. We were having lots of fun.
Let's go somewhere. If you want to live here, stop trashing it. Stop. Like, this is, an absurd amount of trash for Moscow. Wouldn't you agree?
I would absolutely agree. And usually it's 17 to 27-year-olds that do this type of thing.
Yeah, and the thing is, look, the playgrounds are like brand new almost. At least they look it.
There are playgrounds everywhere in Moscow. Kids everywhere. Another basketball court, I guess a half basketball court.
Yeah, and the interesting part is maybe, you know what, Zhenya actually said something very interesting. Let me just turn the camera around. People may think we're some kind of inspection team inspecting the area for trash, and maybe they're like, oh, we should avoid them because can't drop these guys are from the government.
Sabinin has sent us here to do
Who?
Anglo-Saxon inspection.
Yes, Anglo-Saxon. You have an American guy and two Russian guys speaking in foreign language, which can be threatening. I was here a week ago. This is where I started the other video. And take a look at the artwork. These are obviously print photos from Ethiopia, Tanzania, other places. And I mean, lit up, looking nice. I don't see any kind of graffiti on them or graffiti, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This would be trashed if you were in the worst neighborhood in America, or just in a neighborhood that's not that great in America. They'd be spray painted. They'd be ripped.
And look, there's kids running around. I mean, those are not full-grown adults. We're both
it's almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah, no, it is 9 o'clock actually on the dot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got happy people and young kids playing, and they're not immigrants. So people are not living in fear here. Not that you would need to fear immigrants, but just in case you're wondering.
Well, you don't know exactly how people feel. Everyone has their internal thoughts and feelings that they may not say even on camera. But I wouldn't say 100% that people are living here with no... See, there are TikTokers or would-be TikTokers over there trying to film. There's a boat rental place with people just putt-putting around, if you want to call it that. And over there on that piers, if you want to call it that, when I was here, people were fishing, and I think people are fishing again or something. You won't be able to see that. This camera is excellent at night. Unbelievable.
There's a friendly English speaker.
Здравствуйте. Ну, я по-русски умею, вот Женя по-русски умеет, Джозеф как бы и умеет, и не умеет.
Но, к сожалению, сейчас все лодки забрали. Фишка наша в том, что у нас лодки с грилем.
Серьезно?
Да.
И с кальяном, что ли? Или, мне кажется?
Кальян уже занят, да.
Серьезно?
Можно, да, с кальяном.
Joe, are you filming this?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Шиша.
Basically, their boats, there's a grill in their boats. You can rent the boat with a grill or with a shisha or with a hookah and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, sir.
Мы сами эти лодки производим в Санкт-Петербурге. Вот, и у нас и в Санкт-Петербурге пункт проката, и в Москве.
То есть это еще наше производство. And then after you've covered all the time zones possible, they'll say, well, you're actually coming at the wrong place. You're in the wrong city.
Chicks walking by.
I don't know if your wife's gonna like that, but sure. So.
Well, I'm just saying.
I know.
Let's say, okay, we should have been here at 11 p.m. where everyone's doing drugs, let's say, and throwing beer bottles on the ground. Does that mean that the good Russian citizens clean it up every day while the sun's up?
I have no idea. But the point of the matter is that we're going to be told you're not in the right city, you have to go, or in the right area of the city, you have to go somewhere else. And we're going to end up visiting every single area in Moscow, and we're going to find out pretty much plus or minus the exact same thing. It could be an interesting series of videos, it could be nothing whatsoever. But at this point, I mean, I was here during the day, I'm hearing during the evening. My main question to the audience of the internet, if you're an American, compare this in the comments, compare this area, what you've seen in this video, to an American ghetto. I dare you to compare in your own words, obviously, your own experience, and then anyone who's Russian speaking, well, you know, we'll see the comments by saying that we were at the wrong place at the wrong time, filming absolutely nothing interesting. Come take a look. Actually, you know what? Don't turn off the camera. You can speed this up. We'll go and I'll show you something very, very interesting. I was incorrect. I thought these were roses. These are tulips. So, Joe, tulips. These are natural tulips growing here. And they've opened up from the last week, actually, so they look even more beautiful. Now, you tell me, as an American, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about any country whatsoever, but apparently I was told that this is a horrible place with lots of crime. There are tulips growing here. And they're
Beautiful.
Yeah, and they're not removed. They're right here. No one's even touching them. Now, you tell me in your own words, you're an American, would that even fly in an American ghetto?
Not only, I mean, I'm from Florida, and I see more beautiful flower displays in Moscow than I ever saw in Florida.
So, Joseph, this is a mall in what they told me was supposed to be a Russian ghetto, and we have an indoor karting, which looks super cool.
I mean, I'm surprised.
There's a monster truck, what looks like a monster truck. Anyways, from something from Mad Max.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, you have this really, really cool. I mean, this is really
Show
cool.
them all the food court.
Yeah.
I mean, my mouth is on the floor, and I've lived here for 3 years. This is beautiful.
And there are people living here with all kinds of money and no money. Oh. Because that maneuver right here was a very rainbow maneuver. And,
That's a danger.
Yeah, and those look like Russian faces, but I didn't see the front, I only saw the back. Anyways, that was probably, so far, the most dangerous thing that happened. Was I almost got knocked off by those little...
And that is an issue in Moscow, but that could be for another video.
Yeah, but those things, those scooters, I would call them words that are not allowed to be used on YouTube. Let's just say people of the rainbow usually get together and ride scooters together. I mean, this is... in some ways disappointing. In other ways, very, very interesting.
Now I know why you're willing to bring your nicer car here.
Ah, speaking of that. So originally I had asked Joe, I was like, Joe, which car are we bringing based on the amount of passengers we had? And he had this idea, he was like, why would we bring that car? Because he thought that this was an extremely dangerous neighborhood. But now he's here and, well, Joe, share your thoughts.
My thoughts are, there's like no danger here at all so far. You know, this is one level away from the end of the metro line. And I mean, and look at the park behind you. You know, in America, if this was the most dangerous neighborhood, you would not walk in there. And that's like the third baby stroller I've seen. It looks beautiful. It looks like I want to walk in there.
Do you want to walk on there? You want to walk in there?
Does this look like a park in your city?
Does this dirt look like your dirt in your city?
So I guess they got me there. It is a dirty park.
No, it's like, how do you start? Welcome to the Expat American. I am the Expat American. Where am I? I am lost. I've become senile and lost. I have no idea. Is this Moscow? Is this Bangalore? No idea.
There's a video.
Find
Get
me.
lost on purpose.
Yeah, find me, please.
I mean, really, guys, this is like great. People are just walking, enjoying the weather. What day is this? Is this like a Thursday or a Friday or it's Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. You can tell I don't report to work anywhere. And people are just hanging out.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video of us walking around this neighborhood that I was told is really, really bad at night. And I shouldn't be here because it's super incredibly dangerous. You know what? This looks like a typical neighborhood in Moscow. There are more migrants here, obviously. I do actually know, I've lived in a neighborhood with a lot of migrants, and guess what? I survived. That still does not mean that there aren't migrant problems. There are problems, there is crime, it has to be solved, and I have to say this constantly as a disclaimer because all I'm doing here is comparing what is supposed to be a ghetto in Russia, and I brought my American friend with me because he is the person who would be able to tell me, you know, even though I've been in American ghettos, even though I lived in Philadelphia, he's going to be the person to be able to tell me and everyone else on camera that no, this does not look like a typical American ghetto. So I think the conclusion here is even if there is a bit more crime in this particular neighborhood, it is definitely not a dangerous place for a white guy, two white guys with microphones, with a camera, with a cameraman walking around.
Way safer than
way.
America. Way safer. And now it's your turn to comment and let Stan know, what do you think? What do you think of Russia? What do you think of Moscow? Is this a scary place?
Like, subscribe, tell me I'm stupid. It's up to you. Either way, thumbs up. Have a good time. Да-да, тут прикольный кадр получится. Very nice.
You ready to eat something?
Yeah, I'm ready to eat something.
Nice.
I'm ready to
Let's
go
do
to the
it.
bathroom as well.
Let's go back to that mall.
How many seconds has it been?
Ah,
Are we good to walk away? We're good? Cut it
yeah,
now?
yeah,
Is that the
probably
end of our
now.
adventure?
Yeah, I think
I guess
so.
that's the end of our
Before
adventure.
the zombies come out.
Ah.